All right, let's do some batch practice. I'm going to try to combine a bunch of stuff together from what you've learned in the VBA programming sections of this course into a single big batch practice. So you remember the burgers data. We have a bunch of burgers, what kind of meat's in them, chicken, beef, more chicken, what type of burger they are, what kind of sandwich they are, or no, I guess the sandwich's name, and then a bunch of nutritional information about them. And then the name of the restaurant they're from. This is actual data. So it'd be kind of cool if we could do something with this. What if we, let me just write down some ideas here. What if we make a tab for each restaurant? You know, like a separate tab for each one. Let's see, how about we paste, I spelled that wrong, paste relevant data in each tab. So like the data for that particular restaurant. And we need to, how about in each tab we summarize, let's see, summarize the nutrition info, like give averages and min, max, sum, things like that. And what if we created a summary tab? Let's see, create summary tab, like a tab that summarizes all of the summary information for each tab, if that makes sense. It'd be like a tab at the beginning that has all the summary data in it, like an overview, an executive summary. And then we better make it beep when it's done, to let us know it's done. See, beep to let us know it's done. Okay, let's see if we can do that. Let me just copy all this. Let me see if it'll let me do that. Copy, Alt F11, takes me here. Let's insert a new module. And you know what, let me close that so we get a little bit more space here. I'm going to maximize this for, well, let me pull it to the side so we can have the data as a reference. Let's see, let's call this subburgers batch. How about that? That sounds good. And here's the stuff we want to do with it. Do all that. Let's see, let's comment all that out with that useful button there. Now, what I think I'm going to do is just make some subs, some separate subs, and call them from here. Something like make tabs. That could be a sub. And something like paste data, another sub. And another one called sum data. Yeah, sum data. And another one called summary tab. Summary tab. And then beep is actually, there's actually just a command for that, beep. If I stick it in here, you'll see, let's see, beep, it beeps. I can do that for, oops, ever. Anyway, sorry, back to work. Okay, let's do make tabs. So, I'm going to make a new sub for this called sub make tabs. And what does it need to do? Well, it needs to create a new tab for each restaurant. How are we going to do that? Well, we have the list of restaurants over here. So what if we go grab that? It's on the far right. Now what if we added nutrition info in here? It wouldn't be in column O every time. Let me get rid of this stuff here. So instead, I'm just going to do it dynamically. I'm going to just say go all the way to the right and grab that area. So how would we do that? It would be something like range A2 dot end Excel. Oh, give it to me. Excel to right dot activate. So that's going to take me all the way over to what is it? A2, O2 is going to take me over to O2 right now. And then I need to get unique restaurant names. And how am I going to do that? What I could do is, let's see, how about if I grab this range? Range active cell, comma, active cell dot end down, yep, dot, another parenthesis, dot copy. And then what if I just paste it over a couple spots. So like active cell dot offset 0 rows, 2 columns. Just push it over a little bit and paste special. That should paste it over there. And then here's a handy dandy little trick for you. If you do active cell dot current region, that'll select everything in every contiguous non-breaking cell. So for example, if I'm over here and I hit Control A, that grabs the relevant region. If I were to grab all this stuff, paste it over here, and then click here, the relevant region, Control A, is just this region. If I clicked over here, Control A, it only grabs that region. See what I'm saying? Okay, let me get rid of this. Okay, so we're going to grab the current region, and with it, we're going to remove, ooh, there it is, remove duplicates. And, excuse me, there's probably some, yeah, let's see, columns is going to be equal to 1, just one column, please. And header, oops, header, no, there is no header. I just grabbed from A2 with the active cell, or O2, I guess. So there is no header, so Excel, I can make it guess. I'll just tell it no. All right. That should then remove all the duplicates. And if that worked, then what I could do is say, let's see, for each something, let's call it rest name. How about that? Now I'm going to make it here. I got to make it up top. So remind me in active cell dot current region. Nope, not current region. So I'm saying for each for each something object in the active cell current region. Now the active cell current region is going to be whatever remains. If I remove the duplicates in a column, it's going to just leave me with the unique names. So in this case, the unique restaurants. And so the active cell will still be there. And if I say, give me the active cell's current region and do for each thing in there, it's just going to do once for each restaurant unique name, because that's all that's left. Now I have rest name here. I've got to declare it up here. So dim rest name as, what is it? It's a range, because it's a cell. It's a cell. It's for each cell essentially in this region. I want you to do something. Cool. I'm actually gonna tab all of this in. Here we go. That's gonna make it prettier. Okay. So for each rest name in active region, what do I want to do? I want to add a tab. Well, let's see. Make tabs. So that's going to be something like sheets dot add. I wonder if I can dot name equals rest name dot value. Haha. So rest name is whatever cell I'm on, right? Whatever unique restaurant name. So I'm going to say the name of the new sheet that I just added is going to be the name of the cell. Woo, that's pretty slick. That should work. Cool. We'll see when I hit run. Let's see. We also need to, if we're going to make a new tab for each one of these and paste in all the relevant data, I'm probably going to want to paste in these headers as well, because they're not going to come when I just grab all this data. So let me paste in this first row on every tab. That would be useful. Maybe see paste header. Yeah, that's how you spell it. Okay. So let's see if we can go like this. What if we said sheets rest name dot value? Yep, value dot rows 1. So I'm saying for the sheet that I just created, essentially, the first row dot value, I think you can do that with a row, equals sheets, the one where all the data is. This sheet's name is burgers, right? Burgers dot rows 1, so that top row dot value. Ooh, yeah, that should do it. Let me pull this over so you can see it. So I'm saying for the sheet I just created, for the top row, set its value equal to whatever the top row is in my burgers sheet. So I'm just making them identical. Cool, that should work. Then do that for every sheet. Next, and That'll do it, actually. I've made tabs. Slick! Should we test that? We should probably test that before we run everything else. It's a good idea to always test as you go. So here we go. Test as we go. Save, because we don't want to mess this up. Let me go save this, because I can always revert back to a prior copy if this blows up. All right, let's run it. Maybe I should F8 it, actually. F8. No errors yet. Oh, it made a Chick-fil-A sheet. Sweet. And, oh, it made a Burger King sheet. Oh, I'm just going to F5. It ran. Whoa, look at that. Sweet, it worked. So Sonic, here's the headers right here. Oh, that's awesome. And it did that for every restaurant. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and delete these. No, let me keep them for now. And we'll just run the next bit from here. Cool. Okay. Next, what do we need to do? That's nice. We need to paste data. So let me go create a new sub called sub paste data. And this sub is going to paste all the relevant data. So paste relevant data. Cool. All right. So what does it need to do? We need to go back. So we ended on Sonic, I believe. So we need to go back to the burgers page. So tab sheets burgers dot activate. Whoa. Dot. That doesn't like that. Come on. Dot. I'll just type it out. There we go. Likes it. Okay. And then you know what we need to do. So we're gonna simulate this. We're gonna go do it ourselves. Go back to the burgers. See what we have selected here? We need to get rid of that so we don't accidentally copy it over later. So let's clear that. It's going to be something like, let's see, it's selected, so we can go selection.clear. That should clear out that area. Okay. And maybe I should just make a note of what that does. Clears out temp restaurant names list. Okay, cool. Then, what do we need to do? We need to maybe grab a starting point. Let's start. Ooh, if we go with O again, so let me simulate this, delete that. If we go with O, column O, the restaurant names, then I could just use that name as the reference and linking point, because you see it says Chick-fil-A here. I could know for this cell I need to paste all of this data down in Chick-fil-A. And since they're named the same thing, boom, piece of cake, right? Maybe. So I just ended over here. I cleared that stuff. So the next thing I need to do is reset my position. So let's do this. Something like range A2 dot end. Let's see, to right. Nope, not to left. To right. And dot activate that. Okay, so that's sort of start here. Okay, and then for each cell in column O there, let's do that. For each cell in range active cell, because that's where I am, right? Active cell, comma active cell dot end to down. For each of those, let me next that. And I better declare cell before I forget. So up here, dim cell as range, again, because it's just a cell. Okay. So for each of those, what do I want to do? I want to grab the data and paste it over in the other spot, but I don't know where to paste it. I want to paste it at the next available row. I can't hit Control down, essentially Excel end down, because there's a first empty spot in the second row here. Ooh, what I could do, and there are a couple different ways we could do this. We could have stuck all of this stuff on the second row and then done an Excel down. I think what I'll do instead is I'll combine some conditionals in here. We'll say if this is empty, then paste it here. But if it's not empty, then do Control down and paste it on the next one below that. Yeah, that should work. Okay, so let's do some conditional. If is empty, sheets cell.value. So it's going to grab the sheet with the name of the cell I'm currently in, and it's going to be a restaurant name. Cell value dot cells 22. That should work. 2 is B2 essentially. If that is empty, close that. Then else and if. Okay, if that's empty, then let's go ahead and paste. Let's see, sheets cell.value. Yep. Dot rows 2 dot value equals sheets. Oh, can I do this? That would be so cool. Sheets. Where I was, burgers. Nope. Quote. There we go. Quotes. Dot rows cell dot row dot value. So we did that before up here, and it worked with the saying this row equals that row. So what I'm saying here is go paste in that sheet, name the thing of name the restaurant, set its second row equal to the current row, the cells row, in my burger sheet. That's awesome. I mean, that should work. All right, let's see. Otherwise, so if there is something already there in B2, then let's do something else. What we need to do is well, this is going to get really long code. What we need to do is get the row number. So let me get a new variable here. Row num equals, what it's going to equal is sheets cell dot value. So get the not validation value dot rows. No, that can't work. No. Let's do range A1 down is what we want to see, how far down we can go. Dot end Excel down dot next one. So dot offset 1, 0 dot row. Okay, let me explain this. So we're saying in the sheet we want, go to A1 and then go down as far as you possibly can. And then once you do, go one more row down and tell me what that row is. And we're going to set that row number into the row num variable. So let me just pretend there's stuff here. James was here. Okay, so it's going to go to A1. It's going to hit control down. That's the last row we have stuff in. And then it's going to go down one more. So it's going to return 5. That's what it should do. Okay. And now that we have a row number to stick stuff in, we could just copy this, can't we? Let's see. Copy, paste, and edit this just a wee bit. So we don't want it to be row 2, we want it to be row num. Because row 2 is already filled. So we're going to stick it in the row num. And that's actually all we need to change. Oh, that's slick. Cool. Okay. And then we will end that, do that for every cell, which means every row in our burgers sheet. And oh, that should do it, actually. Yeah, that should do it. So let's save this, see if it works. Let's go back to where we started. Gotta put some stuff here because that's how it was, right? Just kind of simulate where we were. Boom. And go back to Sonic. Okay. Control Home. So here's where we were. Let's see if this works. Please work. F8. Variable not defined. Oh, row num. Right. We gotta define. We gotta declare row num. Control C. What is row num? Dim row num as integer. There we go. F8. Yes. Gonna go to burgers. It's gonna clear the selection. It's going to reset its position. It's gonna grab all that stuff, and then it's gonna go check on the sheet. I'm not actually activating the sheet, so we're not gonna see if anything happens. So stuff seems to be happening. Let me hit F5. It finished running. Let's go check some of these tabs. Oh, it worked! Whoa! Oh, that's cool. This, this never works. I mean, I guess I had one error there, but wow, cool. Okay. And so it would have ended where? It would have ended right here because we never actually activated a new cell. Wow. All right, that's awesome. Here we go. And next thing we need to do is sum some data. Control C. Control V. Let's see, sum data. This is going to summarize the nutrition info. Okay. What do we need to do with this? We need to, for each sheet, we need to do something. Let's do an I. Let's do I. So we need a dim and I. Dim I as integer. You'll see why. Because I'm going to say for I equals 1 to the number of sheets we have, not including the last one. So that would be, let's see, to active workbook dot sheets, yes, dot count, haha, -1. So for all the sheets from 1 to all of them -1. Next, do something. Okay, what do we want it to do? We want it to activate that sheet. Sheets I, that's whatever sheet we're on, dot activate. And then we need to, well, let's see. We want to, let me go to Sonic. I want to come down here, and I'm only summarizing the numeric info, obviously. So I would like something like average, sum, how about a max and a min? Yeah. And then, of course, the values there. There are a couple different ways we can do this. Let's break it down. First, let's get these in there. Yeah, let's get these labels on all of them. I would do that by going like this. Okay. For that sheet, it's gonna be kind of stupid coded. Hope that's all good with you guys. Let's make it stupid coded. Smart or hard coded? Is that the right word? Hard coded. Okay. I'm gonna place these labels. Let's see. It's C, column C. Make sure that's consistent. Yep, column C everywhere. Okay, so in column C, boom, here we go. Range C. This is terrible code, but here we go. C1 dot end down offset 1 row and 0. Yes. Where have I activated? I'm just thinking. Okay, this will work. Okay. Yep. 0, not value, not validation. I do that every time. Value equals AVG. Okay. And I'm just going to copy this, copy, paste, boom, boom, boom. And it is C1 every time at the end, but it's going to become 2, so it's 2 rows down, 3 rows down, 4 rows down. Instead of average, it's going to be sum, and then max, and then min. Okay. And boom. There we go. So that is going to give us what we want there. Now what I want to do is maybe set the position. Let's reset our position. I'm going to go range D1. So that's going to place the labels right there. That's going to place the labels. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my position for making some calculations. So range D1 dot activate set position. And then I'm going to make some calculations. Make calcs. Okay. So I'm going to do this for each of those columns. I'm going to say I already used I. Let me use J. For J, it's just another integer, equals 1 to, how many are there? 11, 10, 10. I wouldn't count. All right. See, we have boom, 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 boom. That is 11 numbers. Okay. I was good on that. There we go. For j equals 1 to 11, do some stuff. Next. Okay, what do we want to do? What we want to do is we want to grab a range. I think I'm going to do this the easy way. We want to grab the range, which is just, if I go to the top, it's this right here for each of those columns. And then we're going to do a worksheet function on all of that. So I want to grab a range. Let me set a range. The range, set, this is kind of a funny way to do it. The range equals range active cell. So that's D1 at this point. Active cell dot offset 1, because I went to D1. Well, I could have just gone to D2, I guess. Well, we're going to offset. Okay. Offset 1, 0, comma. So from D2, essentially, down to active cell dot end down. That's the range we want. Whatever the active cell is, +1 row all the way down. That's the row we want. And now for that, here's what we want to do. We want to go down to that bottom of that column. So active cell dot end down dot activate, and so we're setting our position there. And then we're going to say something like this: active cell dot offset 1. So I'll show you where we are. Give me a sec. Dot value equals. So I'm saying over here, let's say we started it in D1, which is where we did start. I'm saying go all the way down and then go down one more. That's where we're starting. That value has got to equal worksheet function dot sum, cool, the range, because it just requires a range, right? There we go. We have a range. It's right there. Have I dimmed the range? No, I haven't. I better dim that range. See, dim the range as range. Yes, range. There we go. Cool. And you know what? I've dealt with averages before. This is actually going to be a mess. It's going to give us like 10 decimals. I want to show you something cool. It's called format. It's sort of a style thing. So I'm going to say format, and it says what expression? Well, this expression. And what is the format I want it to have? I want it to have quotes. It's always in quotes. Number dot number. What does this mean? It means give me however big the number is on the left side of the decimal, and then give me only 2 after the decimal. I only want 2 decimal places. So that'll work nicely. Okay. What else are we working with? Sum, max, and min. Those aren't going to add decimals, so we're good on those. I can copy this and get rid of that piece there. So paste. Let me get rid of the formatting here. And then change this. It's not sum, it's dot it's average, spelled out the range. Cool. And let me copy it. Oh, and I almost forgot here. Better change that to the next row down. And now we can just copy that. Cool. Control C. I strongly recommend you copy and paste wherever possible. Instead of average, we want dot max. There we go. And I bet min is just min. Dot min. Yep, that's right. And instead of 2 here, we're 3. We're going down another row. Go down another row. Boom. And it will do this for each of the columns. So for each of the columns, give me the sum. Wait up. No, I want average. Sum doesn't do it. Dot average. And make this sum. I want to format the average, not the sum. Cool. And oh, and that's the order I put it in. Anyway, cool. So that works. Okay, good. Hope we're not too lost. All right. Next. Ooh. Wait. Okay. Just thinking through things. So I'm saying go to the active cell, activate it, do all this stuff. But then if I'm down here, the active cell, if it tries to do that again, it's going to jump to the bottom of the worksheet. I don't want that. I've got to reset the position. Reset position. So it's going to be something like active cell dot offset. There we go. 0, 1. So next column, right? Dot end. Oop, not addition options. I don't even know what that is. End. Excel up. There we go. Dot activate. So it's going to take me to the top of the next column. Boom. Nice. Okay. And then do it for every column, and do that for every workbook, and then end. I think. Yeah. Next column. That'll help me later. Here we go. I think that will do it. Let's try. So we ended here, right? I didn't add any data anywhere, right? Like, let's see. Oops. Nope, we're good. Okay. Okay. Control M. There we go. Okay, let's try this out. Control S. Run it and see what happens. F8. Variable not defined. Which one? J. Oh, easy enough. Dim J as integer. F8. Hey, no more screaming. Nice. All right, so it went to Sonic. Hey, that's cool. And it's going to do stuff. Oh, it pasted it down in there. And then, oh, you can see numbers populating down there. Check it out. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. All right, let me hit F5. Boom, it ran through. And almost perfect. What is this? It put a gap in there. So let's find out why. We are so close on that one. Wow. Okay, so we have a gap after average. Why? It's going to the bottom, and ooh, that's why. So here's why. What we're doing, and it's up here, we're saying go to column C1, or go to C1, go all the way down, and then offset 1 and put an average. All right, that's easy enough, right? It puts it in the right spot for us. But then we're saying go do that again, but offset 2 and put sum. Well, if you do that, if you simulate that, so we're going to go control down. Well, now we're on average, and now I'm going to go down 2 and put sum. Well, next time it's not a problem because I'm offsetting 3, but I'm only going down here again. So what I need to do is go to a place like B2 or D2 that doesn't actually have any data in it, and then offset a column as well. Let's do that. So let me just say D2 for now. That's easy enough. D2, 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 and we need to go back a column. -1, -1, negative. Ooh, not that. That's not negative. -1 and -1. So that's going to go down here where there's nothing yet, and then it's going to stick it in there. Cool. Let's try that real quick. We can simulate this by deleting all of this. Yes, delete. Page up. There we go. And there we go. Okay, here we are. Let's try this again. Control S and run it. Please don't die. F5. And it worked. Look at that. Woohoo! Nice. Oh, that looks great. And look, our formatting even worked. That's pretty cool. Did it at 1 decimal. Oh well, good enough. I thought it would. No, well, this one did 2 decimals. Who knows? All right. Here we go. Next. Next is almost last. It is last. Summary tab. Okay. Summary tab. What do we need to do with the summary tab? We need to do a bunch of stuff. We need to create a new sheet and call it summary or something like that. So, let me think through this. I want to create the tab at the beginning. So the way to do that would be to select the first sheet and then add the tab, because it always adds the tab just to the left of whatever tab you're currently active on. So let's do sheets 1, whatever current 1 tab sheet is, activate, and then we'll add one. Sheets.add.name, we learned that works, equals summary. Cool. And then let's go back to a data filled sheet. So sheets, just go back to where we were. Sheets 1, that was 1 is now 2 because we added 1 before it. So sheets 2.activate. We're just going back to a sheet that has data, and we're going to go grab the headers. So once we create a summary tab, it's a brand new tab, it's blank. We need to have headers for all this stuff, right? So we're going to go grab that stuff. Let's do it. Let's say range. Now this is, again, terrible code, but it'll work for now. This video is running kind of long. D1 to N1. That's what we have here. See, D1 to N1. Now, if we added new columns, that would be terrible. It wouldn't work. I'd have to find out some other way to do this. I could do like D1, or it might not even be D. I'd have to figure out a way to do that. I could say 3 in, 4 in, and then 1 back from the end. But for now, for sake of parsimony, simplicity, let's just do it hard-coded. Again, terrible way to do it. Okay, but it works. Let's copy those headers and let's go paste them. Go back to sheets 1.activate and let's go to paste them in B1. Let me think through this. Range B1, and I'll tell you why. Paste special. Okay, we want to paste it there. You'll see as we're pasting in data, it's going to be helpful to have it there instead of an A1. Here's why. It's because when we end down, it's going to be easier. Okay, here we go. Range B1 paste. We've pasted in the headers. And now we need to make them fancy. So let's say, see, it's currently selected. So selection.font.bold equals true. That's just a Boolean value. So now our headers are bold. And now let's do some stuff for all these worksheets. We need to go grab all the summary data. So here's what we'll do to get those. Let me see. Grab all summary data. So we need a loop because we're going to go through all the workbooks. So I'm going to say for I equals not the first one, right? Because that's a summary tab. So not from 1, but from 2. From I equals 2 to active workbook dot sheets dot count -1, because we also don't want the last worksheet because that's where all of our data is. For all of those, next, what are we going to do? We're going to activate the sheet we want. So sheets I dot activate. It's going to activate whichever sheet we want to be on. And we're going to grab the range of summary data. So on this, no, this is the burgers one. On this one, it would be this. I want all of this. Okay, so let's go get all of that. Here we go. How would I get that? I would let's set a range for it so we don't have to be pasting in, or pasting. We don't have to be typing in that range all the time. So we're going to set a new range. Set let's call it summary range equal to range C1 is right dot end. So we're going to go all the way down. Yep, C1 to the very bottom. So you can see on the left here, C1 is going to be min if you go all the way down. So end, Excel down, and that's going to be the beginning of our range, comma, and the next one's going to be range again, C1 dot end, all the way down again. But this time I'm going to say dot end. You ever see that? Dot end, dot end. I'm going to end it again and go all the way to the right. Excel to right. And then it's not there because that's just the bottom right. We need to go back up. So dot offset. How many rows up? It's 3 rows up and 0 rows or columns over. Woo! I wonder if that is going to work. That'd be way cool if that worked. All right, so that should go, as I did it, should go from C1, it's going to go control down. That's our bottom left of the range, and that's going to go, again, it's going to go control down, control right, and then up 1, 2, 3. So it's going to grab all of that. So if I do that while holding shift, okay, so it's going to go control shift right, and I'm holding control, shift 1, 2, 3. It's going to grab that. Cool. And that's what we want to copy. So let's do that. Can I just say summary range? I've just named this range, summary range dot copy. So I should be able to copy it. And then I'm going to go back to the summary sheet. So sheets, summary, I can just call it that, summary. I could have called it 1 as well because it's just the first sheet. Summary dot activate. Whoa, that's big. Activate. And I want to find out, sort of like we did before, oh, it's not, if the first data has been pasted, and if it hasn't, then I need to paste the first data, and if it has, then I need to go all the way down to where the data ends and then paste some more. So conditionals. So let me make a note in here. Check if any data already pasted. Cool. Here we go. If, what will it be? Let's see, is empty range. We can just check A2 because row 2 shouldn't have anything in it if this is the first time we're pasting. Value, not value, what am I doing? If range 2 is empty, then, yeah, that should work. Then, did I spell that wrong? Oh, I'm missing a separator. There we go, cool. Okay, and if else, okay. If it's empty, then we want to say that range A2 dot value equals let's paste the name of the restaurant in there. So range A2 dot value equals the name of the restaurant, which in this case would be the sheet name. Let's do that. Sheets I dot name. That's the name of the restaurant. Boom. And then let's paste in all the data. So range, in this case, since it's the first time we're pasting, A3 dot paste special. And that should paste all the data in there. If it's not the first time we're pasting, then we want to go range A2, but go all the way down, end, down, and then offset a whole nother row because we don't want to paste over what we already have. 1 row, 0 columns, dot value. Again, we're going to do the name of the sheet. So sheets I dot name. Cool. And then we'll paste it all in there. And I can just copy all of this. Control C. Except this. There we go. Paste and make this dot paste. Will that work? Yeah, that should work. Okay, cool. And if, do that for every sheet. Yes. And then let's just be done. I think that's it. I maybe reset our home position at the top of the summary page. Are we on the summary page? Yes, we are. So I'll just set range A1 dot activate. That's setting the final position. And then let's make it pretty. Columns dot autofit. Autofit. No, not autofill. Autofit. Make it fit. Cool. And be done. Oh, it'd be great to be done. This has been a long one. This is, as always, more complicated than I imagined. We haven't dimmed any variables. That's not good. Dim. What do we have? I. Dim I as integer. And actually, that's the only variable we have. Is that right? Nope, we have summary range. Dim summary range as range, obviously. Cool. I think that's it. I hope that's it. Let's see if this works. Oh my goodness. That was a lot of thinking and just bleh, code on the fly. Okay, let's make this a little bit prettier. Ah, right here. Okay, close enough. And let's see if this works. All right. Oh, where did we end last time? We ended on, I think we ended on the burgers. There's a way to check this. I'm going to say sheet 1 activate, so it doesn't even matter, actually, because I'm just going to jump to here. All right. Cross your fingers, Control S, F8. Oh, it didn't yell at us yet. That's good. It's going to Sonic. That's good, the first tab. And then it created a new tab called Summary. Woo. Go back to this tab, grab the headers, yeah, paste it in there, boom. And then for every workbook, go to that workbook, or for every worksheet, go to that worksheet, tell it the range, copy the range, go back to Sheets, check if it's empty. If it's not, and it's not, woo, go put the sheet name in there, and then paste all the, yes, data in there. Now here's the real test if it works the second time through. Go to the next sheet, Dairy Queen, good. Copy it, go in here, yes, it skipped over that, and yes, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! F5. Oh yeah. All right, I think that worked. Look at what we did. That was way harder than I imagined. Again, as always. We could make these all bold, but you know what? I don't want to. So we've only made all these. Now, if we typed it all right, we should be able to just call burgers batch, and it will call all of these for us, and then it'll beep when it's done. So let's try it. How do I do that? I need to delete everything here except the burgers tab. So delete, yes, delete. And we're left with just our original data. And a moment of truth, Control S, go over to here, do burgers batch, hit play. It worked! Oh, that's amazing. Anyway, so you've learned, hopefully, through lots of pausing and rewinding and slowing down, how to do a fairly complex batch process with this restaurant data. I hope that's helpful.